Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to make a new video with a new content, and if you are new to my YouTube channel, please like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. And the content is about the disadvantage of coming to China for further studies, for especially for international students. And before starting this video, I am setting a target of 100 likes, only 100 likes. If you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up so that I will be motivated to make such video and create more contents in future. Thank you. Let's start this video. The first point is the language barrier. Of course, there will be language barrier because China is non-English speaking country, so that you need to be prepared to speak Chinese, or at least to adapt in Chinese language environment before coming to China, so that you don't need to expect the people speaking in English. Everyone here will speak in Chinese, and if you want to communicate and make new friends, you have to speak in Chinese. And if you don't want to mingle, don't want to mix up with the Chinese environment, China is not for you. And the second point will be limited English teachers, English professors in your department, in your university, because they will have very limited number of the native speaker, native English speaking professor in your department. I'm talking about my department, so that the point of view will be mine. But in general, the Chinese university will have very few number of English professors, and Chinese professor will be teaching you the English courses. That is why I will tell you that you need to adapt the Chinese accent English speaking in China, and that will be your second disadvantage if you come to China. And you need to expect the Chinese language will be your second language in China after English, obviously. And you have to make friends that are all speaking in Chinese. And if you want to be alone, you don't learn Chinese, and that's totally fine. And the third point will be the teaching learning is totally research based. Research based means that if you are a graduate student, you will be totally um doing the research works. That means if you have interest in industry, the professor will just ignore you. He will just make you do some research paper, like writing, or you do your work, you do your presentation, everything. But eventually he will just let you pass, and he will not care you about the future or anything. But if you have good interest in research, like academics, doing PhD, doing postdoc under his supervision, he will really care about you, and he will help you in your academic life, obviously. So if you want to work in industry and do the practical jobs, China is not for you. And the fourth point is there is very less international students. That means if you are coming to China, so that you will find new English speaking friends, or you will get to know each other, and no, that is totally not the case. You will find all 95% of Chinese friends, those who will rarely talk in English, they will talk in Chinese. And maybe you will find one or two friends that will talk in English, and those are also Chinese. But some of the friends maybe from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, those are also non-native speakers. And if you are feeling that you will find some native English speaker in China, and you will be getting exposure of international environment, and that is not true. You will find the students that are mm, uh, international, but not international in your mind. Okay, and the fifth point will be the lack of professors speaking fluently in English. Obviously, the professors will be Chinese and they will speak in Chinese accent, Chinese plus English, Chinglish. There will be Chinglish accent. Okay, and the other disadvantage is the Chinese food, but it might be the advantage also, because like lots of people like Chinese food, but some other people don't like it. And if you don't like it, you have to bring your own local spices from your own country and cook your food by yourself in the dormitory, so that you will cook your food, eat your food, and if you want to taste some Chinese food, you can try it in weekends or some other day. But in regular basis, you can eat your own cooked food. But in my case, I don't like Chinese food so much. But I cannot say that I don't like Chinese food at all. But I like noodles, I like jiaozhe, I like mian, lada mian, and lots of other things. And there's noodles like Wuhan mian, that is like noodles from the Wuhan, that is really spicy and that's really good. Yeah, there are a lot of Chinese food, there are a lot of different variety, and you will find lots of thing that is really 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 tasty, delicious. But the thing is that you will miss your food, obviously. And obviously, because of food, you don't want to miss China. But if you are really foodie, then China is not for you. And there is another disadvantage. The thing is that if you are making your mind to stay in China for long term and getting some PR, you are getting married to Chinese girl, and then you will get the PR. No, China already have very huge population, and they are not going to accept any foreigners as their citizens. So just this is another disadvantage. If you are thinking to be a citizen or getting passport, you're getting PR in China, please don't come to China. And the other thing is the education system is different. Because like you have graduated in your country and you come to China and you do the postdoc or PhD in China, they will expect you that you have already learned all the things. You have to do your thing by your own, and there's no any teaching learning activity. You will do your research by your own. You'll have all the facilities, that's good thing. But the problem is the Chinese students study everything in their high school and undergrads, so that the students above that level should know everything about the software, about the experiments, about the lab instruments, and everything. They should know everything about that. And the thing they will do in graduate level studies is that do the research, do the experiment by themselves, and show the results to the supervisor. That's it. So that if you don't want to do the stuff, like learning process by yourself, please don't come to China. You need to study by yourself. And the another disadvantage is that you will not get any job that is full-time job in China while you are a student. Obviously, if you are in scholarship, you don't have to do the job. But if you have to pay something, and you have to pay your dormitory fees, or you have to pay partial tuition fees, then obviously you have to earn some money. But it is really difficult to do a part-time job in China, because this place is really different from other countries. In other countries, people speak in English, but here everything is done in Chinese, so that you need to speak in Chinese. If you are good in speaking Chinese, then you are all set. You can stay in China, you can work in China, you can earn in China, you can study in China, whatever. If you don't know Chinese language, you will face all of the disadvantages that I have already mentioned here. And that's all. If you don't understand Chinese, then China is really difficult for you. Okay, the last disadvantage is the homesickness. Obviously, it depends on individual, but yeah, you will feel homesick if you are living with your parents and you haven't been separated for a long time and you want to study in China. Obviously you will get homesick, but if you have different personality that you can live independently, then China is for you, or else China is not for you. That's all for today's video, and I hope you guys like the content. And I know that China has lots of advantages, and disadvantages are very few, and disadvantages are only linked with the language. If you are good at Chinese, then everything is okay. If you are bad at Chinese, everything will be bad. So that this is all about the disadvantage of studying in China, or the disadvantage to come to China and learn or study further, so that you decide whatever you can do by yourself. And if you learn Chinese beforehand before coming to China, then that will be best. And that would be my wrap up for the video. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to like this video. I've set the target of 100 likes. Bye bye.